New Orleans Inspector General Ed Quatreaavuex released a scathing report on the mismanagement of the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office handling of the ankle monitoring program.
It's good in a lot of places. It works. It's not working here because they're not executing the same program.
The report covered a 6-month period ending on September 30th of 2012. It alleged that the ankle monitoring program was plagued by shoddy record keeping, vague guidelines, and not enough oversight of defendants and sheriff deputies.
Missing documents, no end dates. The administration's so bad, it by itself would preclude this thing from working properly.
Nearly 2/3 of where defendants violated the terms of their release, there was no documentation that deputies did anything at all in response. And with 35 of 37 restraining orders from the Sheriff's Office GPS system not being recorded, the Inspector General says the program is putting victims and the public at risk.
They only put in 2 out of 37. So for 35 of them, they're not even going to get an alert.
The Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office declined an interview request for this story, but said in a statement that the Inspector General's report ends right before the National Institute of Justice came in at the OPSO's request to review the program's operations. In November of 2012, the NIJ's recommendations were implemented, including but not limited to revised protocols, additional manpower, and tighter restrictions.
I have grave concerns about the electronic monitoring program.
But Martha Broche, who was the victim of a carjacking and brutal beating in September by a teen who was a part of the ankle monitoring program, doesn't think much has changed.
But if that is the case, then a law needs to be passed so that they can pick a juvenile up more easily when they violate the terms.
A teen wearing an ankle monitor had violated his curfew for 90 minutes on a Saturday night in September, where he and 2 others brutally beat and carjacked Broche. The same teen was involved in the slaying of a Domino's pizza driver a little more than 24 hours later. That incident brought the ankle monitoring program under heavy scrutiny because a deputy chose not to visit the teen in person since he had returned home the night of the carjacking. Does that make you feel like maybe your carjacking incident could have been avoided and it probably could have saved Chris Yeager's life?
I just feel if they had followed up after the incident that occurred to me, that Mr. Yeager would probably be alive.
The report also says that more than half the time that defendants left their permitted areas, they did so for more than 30 minutes. The grace period allowed for travel delays.
But you're talking about 10:30 to midnight with a juvenile, and no, that needs to be looked into, followed up on.
Quatreaavuex says with the city stepping in to handle the ankle monitoring program, they should set up specific guidelines for the next contractor they put in charge of the program.
They need to decide for themselves. They have to do an analysis. What do you want the contractor to do? And they've got to build in performance measures so they know whether or not the contractor is meeting the objectives.